Hey there, welcome. It's Karen Lanier from No Limits Businesswoman, and this is a No Limits Live. And so today we're going to be talking about how to increase your visibility. And so before I get started on that, make sure, if you haven't joined us already, come on over to the No Limits Businesswoman private Facebook group. The best place, the easiest way to get there is to go to sheis.me. Again, it's sheis.me, and so just type that in your address bar, and that'll take you right there to join the group. So I would love it if you haven't joined us to join us there. Hey Donna, thanks for joining me today. So I'm gonna try and keep myself in my hair in as good enough shape here because it's windy out. But anyways, I wanted to be outside because it's warm. Last days of August. Okay, so let's get started. So again, go to sheis.me and we'll get you into our group. So here's the thing: how to be visible, how to increase your visibility. Look, the only reason I'm here today and have been doing in my business for the last 12 years is because I had a podcast. I created a podcast back in 2006, and what that did for me instantly is that it introduced me to the world. I lived in a small town in British Columbia, Canada. I did my podcast from my closet, and again, it's the only reason that I got to connect with the world. Yeah, you can have a website, but as we know, websites are challenging, for people to find you, even if you have great SEO, right? But again, this was back in 2006. Started a podcast, and again, got to connect with people all over the world and started my coaching business that way. Had I not done this, had I not taken that step out to be visible, and it was all audio podcasts at that point, had I not done that, I wouldn't be here with you today. I'd be probably doing a job in the employment field, in HR, like I had been doing, and that was my trajectory in my work. And just by being visible, just by taking that step out, that allowed me to be here again 12 years later, which is unbelievable. But here's the thing. Hey, Colleen, glad to have you here too. And if we don't do that, if we don't take those steps out to be more visible, people are not getting to see us. You may have the best, you may be the best coach in the world. You may be the best healer. You may be the best lawyer. You may be the best at your job. If people don't know about you, if the people that matter to you and matter to your advancement in your business and or your job, if they don't know about you, nothing's going to change. So what stops us? Really, again, the biggest thing is kind of not knowing what to do. Okay, well, how do I do this? What are the steps I need to take? But also, what is, but a lot of people, what stops them in their tracks is fear. And so fear of looking stupid, fear of doing the wrong thing, fear of just not knowing how to do things correctly. And one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give you is actually just to be yourself. Because if I try to fake it for the last 12 years, again, I wouldn't have a business. I'd be having a job, right? Instead, so again, be yourself, be unique, be honest, well, I'll just say about honesty. Because you don't need to tell everybody the ugly truth about everything, okay? That seems to be my tendency, but you don't want to do that. But just be honest, be yourself, just be the wonderful you that you are. That's one of the biggest things I can suggest. Again, in your business, get out, do podcasts, do videos. Videos are so important because people still to this day don't know, they go to the website or they contact you and they still don't know if you're a real person, right? So if they can't see you, right? If they can't connect with you, then the likelihood of them actually, connecting with you and being your client is going to be much reduced. So in your business, you need to be out there. You need to be on social media. You need to find out, where are your clients? What of all the social media platforms out there, where are they? What are they doing? What are they looking for? And and what are their top 10 problems that they're facing. Talk about those things. I mean, visibility, that's why I'm talking about this today. Visibility is certainly one of the main things that people have a problem with. The challenge that my clients have a challenge with is again, not knowing where to go, not knowing what social media platforms, not wanting to waste their time, right? So that's why I'm here talking about this. Again, for those of you in business who are working in corporate, working for somebody else, who are the people that pull the levers on what's happening in that business? Who are the most important people that you could be getting in front of? Is it your boss? Is it your boss's boss? Is it somebody else in a different? Is it somebody in a different division? Right? Who are those people? Who are the people who are doing really, really well? Connect with them. Be their best friends, right? I mean, just find out what they're doing, what has helped them to become successful. When we do this, things start to shift and change, right? Because again, we're letting the world, we're letting again these people know that we're on the move, and we want to, and because we want to get. Because I lost my train of thought. Sorry there. Again, what you want to do is you want to connect in with them and make sure that they know what you want and what you're after, because you can't make the assumption that you're going to just do a good job and people are going to notice and they're going to give you a lift and get you into that next role. That does not necessarily happen. In some companies, yes, it does. They have that laid out. But in far too many companies, that doesn't happen enough. If you're not saying anything, if you're not letting people know that you want to advance and that you want to do something beyond what you're doing, then chances are they're not going to be on your not that they're not going to be on your side. It's just like it really comes back to the squeaky wheel. If you're the squeaky wheel, and you don't have to be complaining and bitching and moaning, that's not it at all. It's just that you have to let people know what you're after. It's ask and receive. It's as simple as that. And so, and if people don't know that what you're after, they can't help you to get what you want. So get in front of those. Take all those opportunities to get in front of other people. If you can do some training for people in your organization, if they ask you to speak, even though you are frightened out of your mind to speak in front of other people, do it anyways. And so, and again, in your business also, I mean, get out. If you, get out and speak. Go to the local chamber of commerces. Get out in your community so you can actually find out and connect with those people. Get out in events where your people are. This is just the basics, but this is how you start. This is how you start to be visible. But understand that most people have a real fear of doing this because, again, they're fearful of doing it wrong, and fearful of messing up, and fearful of just messing up and or looking like a fool. Don't worry about that. Make sure that you get out in front of people. If you want some help with this, then connect with me. Actually, just set up a chat with me. Just whatever page you're on. If you're on my Karen Lanoux international page, just there should be a little thing there that says message me. Message me, please. I really, seriously, message me. Let's start to have a chat about whether or not I can help you. Part of what I do is we eliminate that fear. That's one of the biggest things that I can do is one of the biggest things that I do with my clients is help them to get over the fear so they can start to take action, and then also give them the strategies. So Donna's asking, what is the most effective technique of getting people to find your podcast, Karen? Well, so that's a great thing. That's a great question. Well, one of them is just being in all the channels that you can get your podcast onto. So iTunes, Stitcher, and from there, what happens is that there are all kinds of other, they're called podcatchers. Get them out there. Get out to those, and then make sure that your titles are keyword heavy, so they're actually addressing the problem. So again, today is how to increase your visibility, right? So right there, that's keyword rich. People are looking to increase their visibility. chances are they, if they go on to iTunes, they search for increased visibility, they may find this podcast when it finally goes up. But really also share it with everybody. Put it in your feed all the time. Say, hey, I've got a podcast. Keep telling people about this. Don't assume if you do it once or twice that anybody will have seen it. Okay, will have seen your post. You need to keep you need to do this repetitively. And so when we do that, then people will start to pay attention. Get it out in an email, right? So if you have an email list, send out your podcast through that. If you are, also you turn your podcast into YouTube videos, right? So I always recommend highly, if you're doing a podcast, always do video. But then what you can do is you can repurpose it in a variety of different places. You can repurpose it on Facebook. You can repurpose it on LinkedIn. You can repurpose it on Instagram. You can do all those kinds of things, right? But again, and get it on YouTube, without a doubt. Start a YouTube channel and get that started. And if you haven't joined my YouTube, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, just look up No Limits Businesswoman and or just my name, Karen Lanoue, and you should find it there. And please subscribe, because I want to get it. So actually, the name of it, I don't have enough subscribers yet because I've just really started focusing on this recently. But get out there, be more visible. There's so many people on all these different channels. Just make sure you are everywhere, across every channel that is relevant to your audience. But again, for business people, make sure you get in front of, or not business people, for people working for somebody else, make sure you get in front of the right people, that you're having conversations with them, that they know who you are and all the things that you are that you can do. Because you can't assume that anybody knows, okay? You can't assume that even your boss knows everything that you're capable of, okay? So I'm going to leave that with you today. Next week, we're going to talk about become burnout proof. Okay? So become burnout proof. Oh, but Donna has a question. When you began podcasting, how often did you post? Actually, I didn't post that often. I think I only, first of all, Facebook really was, I wasn't on Facebook. Facebook didn't really, it maybe existed, but I was not on it yet. I don't think I joined Facebook until 2008. But in terms of how many podcasts I put up, I think actually to begin with, I was only putting up one a month. And so, so it was just one a month. And then I increased, putting up more over time. And here's what I would suggest with this. And I share this in my podcasting course. So if you ever want to know about how to podcast, I've got a great, very comprehensive course about that. So just message me about that if you're interested. But and you could actually just message me, put podcasting in the top, and I'll send you the link to it. Make sure if you get 10, 20 podcasts up there at some point, your podcast can just live out there, right? I mean, seriously, there's lots of people who had, hundreds of podcasts and never got to the levels that I did. And part of that was because I started early. And so I just got into the top of the list right away. But yeah, I would recommend probably doing more than one a month now, without a doubt. Even one a week would be really, really great. So I'm going to leave you with that today. Again, next week we're going to talk about become burnout proof. And if you would like to increase your visibility and you want some help with that, then let's chat. Just send me a chat, again, through Facebook and through Facebook Messenger, and just put visibility, when you first type it in, first thing, then I'll know what it's about. All right. Have a fabulous day. Have a fabulous rest of your week, and go out and live a no limits life. See you soon.